the NFL playoffs are coming down to the stretch here. We have 7 NFC teams between 7-7 and 6-8, 8 AFC teams between 8-6 and 6-8. So a lot of teams still alive in the playoff hunt. The Buffalo Bills beat the Cowboys last weekend. They're the 9 seed right now. They're minus about 200 to make the playoffs. Are you guys surprised that a 9 seed can have sort of the yes be at minus 200? And really, and we talked about Sammy now for weeks, their odds to win the Super Bowl, their odds to win the AFC are so high considering they're not even a playoff team right now.
Well, let's give Will credit. I mean, he was talking about this, I think, 3 weeks ago before the Kansas City game when Buffalo was as high as 50-1 to win the Super Bowl and 22-1 to win the AFC. And he was like, hey, guys, you could hit the Bills right now. And we didn't believe it. We didn't think it was a thing until they beat Kansas City. And then the conversation starts to change. But I think all of us collectively were on the Buffalo side last week against Dallas. That was a horrible spot for Dallas. But you think about that number now, and I'm not going to lay $2, but assuming they beat Easton Stick and Bailey Zappi, that minus 200 goes to minus 500. So it could still be relatively cheap. I still don't want to jump on the playoff track. I've got AFC, I've got Super Bowl, not as good numbers as you have, but I mean, this team clearly, and the books have said this to me too, if Buffalo and KC get in and play on a neutral, not that that would ever happen because somebody's got to have home field, but Buffalo and Kansas City are about as numerically equal as possible from a power rating standpoint.
Yeah, we were just talking before the show started. This Bills team reminds me a little bit, if people remember, the Packers team in 2010, where a lot of people picked them. They were a lot of people's Super Bowl pick before the season, but then they were struggling. They were right around 500. They had to win their last 2 or 3 games to get into playoffs. And if you remember, the Bears played the Packers the final week of the season. The Bears were locked into the 2 seed. They had nothing to play for. And usually you rest your guys, you get ready for the playoffs. They had a bye back when there were 2 byes. The Bears played all of their guys, and somebody asked Lovie Smith, who was the coach, he's like, well, hey, we don't want the Packers anywhere near the playoffs, which was interesting because the Bears and the Packers were on opposite sides of the bracket. They couldn't even play until the NFC title game at earliest. And guess what happened? They played the NFC title game. The Packers won. The Packers obviously got in the playoffs, and they were favored in every single game the Packers were, even though they were the 6th seed when there were only 6 teams that made the playoffs. On the road, the first 3 games, favored in all of them, favored in the Super Bowl, and won the whole thing. Now, I'm not saying Buffalo's going to do that, but there is that sort of vibe where, hey, if they get in, they're going to be favored in a lot of these games. Look, you got Allen, you've established a running game now, you got some pieces on defense. The AFC, there's not that great dominant team. So, I mean, I don't know that there's any value now. I certainly wouldn't be laying 12 or 13 with them. If you believe in spots this week, man, the Chargers were just completely humiliated a week ago. And the Bills just got through a season-saving win against the Chiefs, another season-saving win, a big win against the Cowboys. This is such a letdown spot. I wouldn't be laying the points here, but it's all set up for the Bills going forward.
No Easton Stick plus 12.5. Not going to do that.
I would take it before I laid it. I mean, if there's ever a chance, if there's ever a week where you're like, hey, you guys were completely embarrassing. Jeff, I don't know if you ever played in a game where you were embarrassed like that, where you gave up 60-something points. I mean,
no. Quit
is a big word. Quit is not a word. Look, they're pro athletes. It's football. You can't go out there and just, go through the motions. You'll get hurt. You'll get seriously hurt. But that was about as embarrassing as you can have as a performance. You get some extra time to, rest, reflect on that game. You have a new coach. You got to figure you at least get a good effort this week.
I don't want to misquote Stuckey's tweet, but I did see he put something out where a team loses by 30 plus, and then they're getting double digits the next week. It's something like 17-3 ATS.
Wow.
So it's very tough. I understand that people watching this are like, I'm not taking the Chargers. They suck. Well, I mean, this line a week ago, when Buffalo was, a 2-point favorite against Dallas, and, the Chargers hadn't lost by 1 million points, this look-ahead number was 9. I mean, it was. So now you get through the 10. I know the wise guys hit Superbook and South Point. They took 13.5. They took 13. South Point's down to 11 right now on this game. The public's going to take Buffalo because the public is not going to take the Chargers after the Chargers got just destroyed on Thursday night. But I agree. I mean, you take the points or else, for me at least.
Bear Bets full episodes drop twice a week right here on the Bear Bets YouTube channel. Remember to subscribe to stay ahead of the odds, and let's celebrate all of our wins together.